What's up, everybody? My name is Daniel, and welcome to the Week 14 Waiver Wire Playoff Edition. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you hit that sub button. We've got some really fun viewer interactive content in the upcoming weeks. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you've already made it to the playoffs, so let's pick up some gems to help you win the ship. We're going to start with the quarterbacks. And the first guy is Kirk Cousins. He's on a roll, and he's scored 20 plus points in 4 of the last 5 games. The Vikings are still in the playoff hunt, and luckily he's got 2 really good wide receivers on his team. I expect them to continue to have to rely on that passing game, and his limits will be tested this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Second, we have Phillip Rivers. He's continuing to put up some really solid QB2 numbers, and he's got 2 really nice matchups against the Raiders and the Houston Texans next. He's only owned in 16.5% ESPN leagues, so go grab him if you need a quarterback. Next, we have Teddy Bridgewater. He's fresh off of a bye, and he's looking to have a good game against an okay Broncos defense. McCaffrey is expected to be back this week, but keep an eye out on his other weapons who are currently on the COVID list to see if they play on Sunday. Lastly, we got our guy Jalen Hurts. After Wentz got pulled, he showed some potential as a fantasy streamer by throwing for 109 yards, a TD, and an interception. What's going to be the most intriguing about him is the 29 rushing yards that he has. I think if he does get the starter gig, he could have some value as a rusher. Other considerations are Baker Mayfield, Nick Mullens, and Alex Smith. Next up are our wide receivers. First is T.Y. Hilton. He had the big game that we expected him to have, and he looks to be finally in sync with Phillip Rivers. He had a 21% target share, which resulted in 8 catches for 110 yards and a touchdown. He has the Raiders and Texans coming up, so look to him to reclaim his wide receiver 1 status. Second, we have Lazard. While he hasn't been that explosive wide receiver 2 that we expected, he has been slowly progressing upwards. He's a clear number 2 behind Devontae Adams, and look to him to potentially have his breakout game against a very exploitable line secondary. Next is Keke Coutee. We said Fuller's targets had to go somewhere, right? And the majority of it went to him, as he got 9 targets for 8 catches and 141 yards. He had a 24.3% target share, which was actually higher than Brandon Cooks. He's definitely worth a pickup and potentially a play, especially with Watson throwing to him. Lastly, we have Tim Patrick. He's been getting the consistent targets, and he scored twice this past weekend. To me, he's a wide receiver 3 moving forward, but could be valuable to those wide receiver needy owners. I like him a little bit more than Jerry Jeudy on the Broncos offense. Other considerations are Rashad Higgins, Gabriel Davis, Josh Reynolds, Colllin Johson, and Chad Hansen. Let's go to our running backs now. We're going to start with Akers, who finally might have had his breakout game as a featured back. The Rams decided to finally use him more, as he got 22 touches and has scored touchdowns in 3 weeks in a row. He had a 32% touch share, and hopefully this means he will be their number 1 running back moving forward into the playoffs. Next is Johson. Look, I know we've been burned by him before, but Frank Gore got a concussion and he may not be able to play next week. If that's the case, he'll likely be the Jets starter, which means he should get a lot of volume, which equates to a flex-worthy start in some formats. Lastly, old man all day, Adrian Peterson. He scored 4 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. That's kind of crazy, right? If Swift is out, I really like playing him next week against the questionable Green Bay's run defense. Other considerations are Alfred Morris, Cordarrell Patterson, Peyton Barber, and Jeff Wilson. Lastly, let's look at our tight ends. First is Kmet. He's a little bit riskier because we have a small sample size on his uptick in usage, but he led the team in targets with 7 and looks to have surpassed Jimmy Graham as the number 1 tight end on the Bears. Again, risky play, but he could be a good stream against the Texans this week. Second, we have Anthony Firkser. If Jonnu Smith isn't able to go, he has a great matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This week he was targeted 7 times, and that resulted in 5 catches for 51 yards. Next is Logan Thomas. He finally had the breakout game that we've been wanting and waiting for all year. Gibson got injured, and he ended up getting targeted 9 times, which resulted in 9 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. He could be a steady tight end play in the playoffs, as Alex Smith will continue to look to him. Lastly, Dalton Schultz. Andy Dalton was consistently getting pressured this past week, but he still got 5 targets for 5 receptions and 24 yards. He continues to provide a solid floor for our tight end and PPR formats, and I continue to expect him to do so. He's caught at least 4 passes in each one of his last 4 games. Other considerations are Trey Burton, Jordan Reed, Dan Arnold, Tyler Higbee, and Jordan Akins. We're not going to talk about defenses in this video because my next video will be about playoff defenses and what we like each week. This has been your Week 14 Playoff Edition Waiver Wire Report. Come join us for a fun 2-part stream Wednesday night, one at 5 p.m. and another one at 11:30 p.m. for waiver wire camping. I hope this has been useful and I hope that you all are in the playoffs. Remember to like this video, comment any questions you have, and subscribe to my channel for all future content. Like I mentioned before, I have some fun stuff planned for the viewers, so please sub to the channel to partake. That's all folks. Good luck this week, and until next time.